Hey everybody, it's your Dutch friend Jan here. You are listening to the Creator Empires podcast. Maybe you're watching if you're watching here on YouTube. Today I have an interview for you with Stefano from Learn Italian with teacher Stefano. And we're going to talk about various things. One of the topics is YouTube, because many of the YouTubers that I talk to in the education space feel that it's getting harder and harder to grow on videos, and for many of them views are actually dropping. Now, according to Stefano, this is actually not a problem, because apparently YouTube is optimizing for quality, and that's exactly what Stefano is doing for his YouTube channel. He's getting less views than before, but actually he's making more money. He's turning more viewers into customers, and in this interview he's going to tell us how to do it. Enjoy. Hi Stefano, and thanks for coming on. We've known each other for a few years now, and I know that you're very passionate, not only about teaching Italian, but also about everything that happens behind the scenes, right? The business, the business aspect that most people don't get to see. You do lots of interesting things. And excited to have you on today and share with the audience everything that you've learned over the past few years, hopefully. Welcome.
Absolutely, Jan. Thank you for having me.
I'm
excited.
A quick recap. You've been teaching Italian on YouTube for how long now? Can you give us a quick backstory? 5 years?
Yeah, so I actually started teaching Italian online as just a tutor 10 years ago now. And I started on YouTube and started building my business about 5 years ago. I started on YouTube 5 years ago and then created my first course 4 years ago. And then the first course that I created went very well. I also started building my email list when I started on YouTube. And then from there, I just started focusing on this 100% of the time. I mean, I've been doing this full time for 5 years now. And yeah.
So did you know that it was possible to turn something like this, to turn a YouTube channel into a business? Did you know that 5 years ago?
I mean, when I started, I already had the idea of creating courses, because I think at that time, maybe 5 years ago, it was when people actually started doing this a little bit more and making, real money from this. Yeah. And I was working with a Brazilian company that was doing exactly what I wanted to do. So I kind of thought, well, if I do that with them, I can also do that myself with my own business. So when I started, I know that eventually that was the direction that I wanted to take. I wanted this to be my full-time job, but I just I was just not expecting it to be this quick, honestly.
Yeah. How big is the channel nowadays?
Now we are 2,000 away from 300,000.
All right. So you start a channel, you start making videos. When do you make your first dollar?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I think 1 year after starting the channel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, making money from the courses or from YouTube. I think it was not actually, to be precise, it was 9 months later, because we launched the YouTube channel and then we started collecting people's emails. And then after 9 months, so we waited 9 months before making the actual course. Yeah. So, oh no, what am I saying? No, sorry. Actually, it was 2 years, I think.
2 years.
Almost 2 years, yeah. So because at first we were just doing YouTube videos. I was just doing YouTube videos. I was alone, of course, when I started. And I was not making any money. I think maybe I monetized the channel, yeah, for sure, after 9 months. But that was, it was not, of course, enough money to live on. And I was doing just the tutoring to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And then when we launched the first course, then that's where, the real business started. But I mean, one thing that I would say, it's not, so YouTube is a long-term game.
Yeah.
YouTube is that platform that is maybe the hardest of them all to grow.
Yeah.
But then, of course, when it grows, it gives back a lot.
Yeah.
And just the quality of leads that we're able to collect on YouTube is longer. And, you know, I was talking about this with some other creators a couple of days ago. And I said, so my business is courses. I sell courses. And when you are in the business of courses, you need people that are able to sit at a computer for maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes, an hour, watch a video, doing exercises, doing activities. And so those people are going to come from YouTube. They're not going to come from Instagram. Because if someone is just basically used to just watch, you know, Instagram, for example, they have maybe a 20-second, 30-second attention span. They don't want to spend 30 minutes and watch a video in a course.
Yeah.
So that's why I think if you own like a course business, then it would make sense to advertise yourself on a platform where people are used to watch long form videos.
Yeah.
And
To
you know, the same applies to
videos. Is
Yeah.
it to watch long form videos or to listen to 1 hour podcasts like this one, for example?
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Even podcasts. I mean, that we haven't had like, I was expecting podcasts for me to convert better than YouTube. That's not the case yet, but still the quality of people listening, you know, to podcast is usually, when I say, of course, the quality, I mean, I'm not like it just in terms of conversion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I just want to specify that.
Yeah. You mean the quality of YouTube is still higher? Or the lead quality from YouTube is still higher than the podcast so far?
To me, yeah. It just like in my business, yes. But that's very specific. It might be different for other businesses, but for me specifically, yes.
We see that many of the Langpreneurs out there nowadays, many of them started during COVID. So I guess it's like 5 years ago. That's like when you started, right?
Yeah, we were in the middle of COVID, yeah.
At the beginning, many of those guys grew very fast, especially during COVID. People had nothing to do, right? So they were just sitting at home watching YouTube videos. But now things got, I mean, I think I asked this question in, what was it? Like our mastermind in London last year. I said, who feels that growth on YouTube is slowing down? And many of them raised their hands. How have you experienced growth on YouTube? Like, is it getting more difficult for you to keep growing, or like where did you feel like it's growing on YouTube becomes harder over time for someone in a language niche?
So that's the thing. I think it depends really on what we classify as growth.
Yeah.
I might be mentioning you now. Maybe that's something that you said in one of the masterminds, but that thing really, like, just I remember that right. I mean, right now for sure, like growing on YouTube is harder in terms of views. Like views are getting lower for everyone, but that's because the YouTube algorithm has become just much more precise. So because of that, yes, we're getting less views, but the quality of those views is actually higher. So if we look, for example, at the average watch time, that's actually higher. So maybe we might be getting less views just because YouTube is suggesting our video, our channel, to users that are more likely to watch a video, like to watch the whole video. So yes, views are lower, and for sure also subscribers. But I don't think that matters anymore. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to say, hey, I have 300,000 subscribers on YouTube. I mean, that's nice to say. Yeah. But I don't think that counts that much anymore, because each video is on its own.
Yeah.
So, you know, having a big audience, of course, helps for sure. But at the same time, I wouldn't say that growth is harder. I would say that it's slower. But if you are growing controlled and are doing all the specific, like, are using, I don't know, good improved tactics, I would like to say, maybe it's more likely that YouTube is going to find for you better leads than it was able to do a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean that's what we have been thinking about on what we've been talking about on this podcast. I think also some previous episodes, some solo episodes that I did, and basically the whole consensus around YouTube nowadays is that before the idea was that you build an audience and you figure out what they want and you sell them something. But now that YouTube has become so good that you can actually first create a product and then YouTube will go out there and find the customers for you, right? And this is also a topic that you talked about in Lisbon last year in our September mastermind. Do you just want to give a quick recap of like some of the lessons that you shared there?
Yeah.
Because I think at the time you mentioned that I don't remember the numbers. I need to check my notes. Let's see. Do I have my notes here? Actually, I think I do. Like you said that your views in 2025 were pretty much the same as the year before.
Yes.
But your revenue went up by 37%.
Correct.
Your lead
exactly.
value went from $5 to $3.40 per lead, but that's totally fine when you're getting more leads. And 7 out of your top 10 videos in 2025 were actually made in 2025 compared to only 3 the year before, which means that the new videos are actually generating lots of leads and views. How did that happen?
Yeah, so that's that's related to the thing of like, is growing on YouTube harder? I mean, it depends on what you're looking at, because again, views were pretty much the same for us in 2024 and 2025. But of course, revenue went up, and I'm talking about, and this is very important, revenue from like sales, from organic sales, sales coming from a welcome sequence. So not sales coming from an active marketing effort, like for example, a launch of a new product or anything like that. So those sales that I would, call it like automatic. So people watching a video and then buying. And that happened when we started optimizing our YouTube channel and our YouTube videos based on leads rather than views. Yeah. Because what we used to do before is, okay, we go on YouTube, we look at the most popular videos that we've done on our channel, and then we just make more of those. Yeah. So one problem with that is that simply interests change over time. So what my audience might have been interested in 4 years ago is not what they're interested in now. And we've seen this with videos about Italian culture. We used to make a lot of videos about, don't do these things in Italy, or do this when you go to an Italian restaurant. Don't do, all of those videos. And they used to perform really, really well. Now they just don't, because interests changed, and that's fine. Yeah. And then second thing, why the views approach does not work is you might be optimizing for views, and you might be getting maybe a lot of views on a specific YouTube video, but that does not mean that those people are actually going to download a lead magnet or convert to actual customers. So what we started doing instead is optimizing our channel for leads. Yeah. So in each YouTube video in 2024 and also 2025, we had a lead magnet. It could be like a PDF, it could be a workbook, an exercise book, whatever. So what we started doing is basically calculate the conversion rate from views to people to leads. So people that actually downloaded the lead magnet. Yeah. From there, we were able to see what lead magnets performed better than others. And so based on that analysis that we did on our YouTube channel, which took a while, but that's fine. I mean, it's time well spent. We were able to understand what lead magnets stood out. Yeah. And so we just started making more of those lead magnets. So that's one thing, optimizing for leads. And then instead of looking at videos that were just popular, that had a lot of leads, we started looking at what are called buckets. So basically, a bucket is not a topic, but it's a pattern of things that YouTube videos have in common that result in videos falling in that bucket to perform well. So, for example, instead of looking at, okay, that video, I don't know, it's about verbs, for example. So we have 10 video about verbs and they do pretty well. That is not enough, because a video about verbs is a topic, not a bucket. A bucket is, for example, videos that have that same pattern in the title, or videos that have that same pattern in the thumbnail. So basically how the video is presented.
Yeah.
So by doing this analysis, we found out, for example, that videos where we were saying, wait, hold on, I have my notes over here. I'm gonna take my notes.
It's good to have those notes. I have your notes here as well, and I'm just looking at, like, just to help you out here. So in my notes here, what the heck is a bucket, right?
Yeah.
Like an example is, every
The
time
verbs need
for example,
one.
Yeah, well, every time you had the word "don't" in your video, like "don't go to Italy" or "don't say this,"
Right.
like that could be like a pattern, right? That could be like a video bucket. Or thumbnails where you always look shocked or annoyed with a big red "no" or "don't," right? That can be a pattern that works. So you try more of that.
Exactly.
Or something that's about results, like videos that are where you talk about results. So what else do we have here? Buckets. Buckets have expiration dates. Okay, I won't. I won't give everything away. Yeah.
But that's the point. And again, but you know, Jan, I actually think that is very specific about the channel, not necessarily about. So I could maybe like give away all my buckets that are performing well to other Italian creators. I'm not sure that's gonna work, because again, because maybe that bucket works because I'm pretty good at explaining those things in that way. Yeah. So again, I think that buckets are something that it's very personal to the YouTube channel, and it's something that everybody should start analyzing. And you know that, of course, when you have like a channel that is big enough, like you need to have some data to back, you know, to do this analysis. But again, instead of looking at topics, look at patterns. So again, look at things in the title, things in the thumbnail. So you might have two videos that have completely different topics, but in the same bucket. So it doesn't matter what topic you actually talk about, but people are interested because you are presenting that topic in the best way. Then, of course, the video has to be good, because that's the most important thing. Like, you got to do a good job in making the actual YouTube video and, you know, keeping the people just engaged throughout the video. That's the most important thing. But many times, what happens is that we just have so many videos on YouTube that are very, very good, but they are not presented well enough, and people are not just going to click on it. So doing this kind of like bucket analysis helps in just understanding what people want to watch, what people want to click on.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess in your case, or if you run an educational channel, you do not really look at buckets as videos that generate tons of views, but the kinds of videos that actually generate leads. Right, just to repeat that once more. That's what we are talking about here. So the way you do that, and you talked about this again in Portugal, is you have an Excel sheet, and once every now and then, I don't know, once every month, you download all the data from YouTube. You fill out your Excel sheet. Like, share more about how that works.
Yeah, so again, I'm going to take my notes. So yeah, basically, it's pretty simple. So we download all the data from YouTube. And once we do that, we have this Excel sheet. And I mean, it just basically, we fill in with the data that we need. So the thumbnail, for example, that's very important, because sometimes we overlook that. But of course, looking at the thumbnail is very important, because it gives a lot of information about patterns, about how the video is presented. Then the title of the video, the topic, which is very specific, and then the bucket also. So topic and buckets, again, are two different things. Then we also do, publication date, but I mean, that's not as important, but I would ignore videos that are, I don't know, maybe 4-year-old and older, because it just, again, interests change. Views, which is, you know, important, but not too important. Impressions and CTR, nice to have. And then super, super important, just having a column about the number of leads that you collected from that specific video and the conversion rate. So conversion rate, views to leads.
Yeah.
By doing that, you have all the data. And what we use on Google Sheet is we use this feature called conditional formatting, so that we can actually color all the percentages, for example, of the views to leads conversion rate, or even the views. And just by looking at the colors and, of course, setting thresholds, we're able to see, oh, okay, these videos are performing well. And by updating this once every month, sometimes sales are going to change color, and we can actually also see patterns during time, which is, very, very interesting.
Yeah. So this is essentially how you grow your business without getting more views on YouTube. You just optimize for leads, and ideally you optimize for sales. But I guess that's one step further, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, that's the thing, because right now, again, we're looking at leads, so we want to have people coming in. But once this is optimized, and I think we cannot do much more than this. I mean, I'm gonna try some more things, of course, but I don't think like there's much room for optimization at the moment. It might change in the future, but yeah, of course, now we're ready to optimize a little bit more in terms of sales. So what happens when a lead comes in? And so all of that part is
I guess that
what we're working on at the moment.
That requires some more sophisticated tracking.
Yeah.
What is a good view to lead conversion rate?
So we are usually so we need to. Okay, this is an excellent question, but we need to I want to put out two different numbers, because there's one number that we calculate that is basically the conversion rate from YouTube videos to new people.
Yeah.
So people because that's the thing. So many times, I mean, usually what happens is, okay, I've got, 10,000 views on this YouTube video. I have 1,000 leads, and then I have a conversion rate. But 1,000 of those leads, maybe 500 of them are already in your email list. Yeah. So do they count as new leads? Not really. So what I would say people should hope for, should like expect, or maybe not, no, expect is a bad word. I would say like work for, okay, is 1% in conversion rate from YouTube videos to new people. Okay. And then if you have more than 1%, I mean, that's excellent. But I think 1% is fine. And then for each video, just in terms of people downloading the PDF, honestly, it depends on how many views you're getting. Because we had some videos even have like 17 or 18%, but maybe 10,000 views. But that's still a lot. Because of course, on 10,000 views, that's like 1,700 leads, not new leads, leads in general. Yeah. Maybe of half of that is actually new, but that's still a pretty good number. Yeah. So it depends, but I would say maybe between 5 and 20% total leads from each video. And that is actually an excellent number, because that gives you the idea, or that gives you the data, the insights on how much that video, or actually how much that lead magnet you created was liked by the people who watched the video. And it doesn't matter whether that person is new or is already in your email list. But that ratio gives you a good insight. Okay, I did well. So that PDF that I offered, that lead magnet that I offered, first is aligned with the video. And also, yes, people like it. Then the other numbers, so total amount of views and total amount of new leads you're getting every month, for example, that should be around 1%, I would say. Okay.
So even if like 17% of all the people who watch your video sign up for the lead magnet, most likely only 1% are actually new leads.
Yes, it might be that way. Exactly. Also because if you think about it, when we are considering, and that's the thing, when we're looking at this number, we're looking at the total amount of views each month, and we have approximately 500 videos on YouTube, and maybe just 150 or even less have lead magnets, because when we started, we were not offering PDFs, right? So I expect that number to increase over time, because of course, as we do more videos, as we progress during the years, basically all videos we're doing now have some sort of lead magnets, all of them. But of course, we are also taking in consideration views that have, well, actually, that's an interesting point, because I would like to see what the conversion rate would change, how that percentage would change if I'm just considering like videos, like views from videos in the past 2 years. That would be an interesting number to calculate.
Can't you add lead magnets to the old videos in the pinned comments, for example?
Well, some of this, like the most popular ones we did, but honestly, it's not converting that well, because if you're not, like telling about it in the video, people are also, because people watch from mobile mostly. I mean, now they watch also from TV, but from mobile, unless you want to open the comment section, like you don't notice it. So
do you create a new lead magnet for each video, like a custom lead magnet?
We used to do it. We used to create a lead magnet for each video in the past. It was usually lesson notes. That was in 2024. And then we realized that maybe it was not the best choice, because we thought if we're offering something a lot like together with the video, we want to offer something more. So right now, I mean, each video has its own specific lead magnet most of the time, and it's usually something more. So it's maybe lesson notes with exercises, like with a workbook, for example. But what we do is that we have some like very good lead magnets that people love. And what we do is that we place the same lead magnet for some videos. So it's going to be, so some videos will have a unique lead magnet, and then some videos maybe that it's a little harder to create a specific lead magnet, or maybe some video about a topic for which we have already like a very good high converting lead magnet. We use the same.
All right, Stefano, we're back. We had a little Italian blackout there. Let's just recap what we have discussed so far when it comes to optimizing YouTube for leads and not for views, right? So the process is that every month you download all the data from YouTube, from your YouTube studio, and you add that to a Google Sheet. And in a Google Sheet, you add your video link, your title, publication date, your views, impressions, click-through rate, average watch time, all the information. But more importantly, the number of leads that you collect from each video and the view to lead conversion rate. You analyze all your videos, and you analyze not just the video title.
Identify buckets.
You identify the buckets, right? So the kind of patterns. What are the patterns that if I do that in my video? What are the elements that if I do that in that video? It can be a certain topic, can be a certain intro, it can be a certain presentation style. And if I stick
especially
to that,
title and thumbnail.
And if I stick to those, I know that it's always going to work, and I'm always going to collect lots of leads. And then also like the kinds of lead magnets, I guess, right? Which is relevant because you want to do the best videos that attracts the best leads and then offer the best lead magnet.
Exactly.
And then just do more of those videos, or more videos that fit into that bucket. And I still looking at the notes here from you last year, and then like as a rule of thumb, you do like 70 to 80% of videos that you know that's gonna work. So videos from your buckets, and then maybe you'll leave another 20 to 30% for experimentation, like new kinds of videos.
Exactly. I mean, right now I would like to say just a little update compared to what I said in Lisbon. When was it? A few months ago. September, right now, I would say that like 40% of the videos we do each, maybe like 2 or 3 months, is a completely new bucket that I didn't know existed back in Lisbon. So that's actually one thing to keep in mind. Buckets evolve. So one bucket that might be working, maybe might have been working for a long time. At some point, it just stops working. So it is also very important to be aware of the buckets so that you can know when to stop.
Yeah.
So right now, I mean, my channel might feel a little redundant because like there's a lot of the same thing in terms of patterns. Then of course the videos are different, but it works.
So
who cares?
Keeps working.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it works. People like it. People love it. People love the videos. People want to watch those videos. So I'm just going to give it to them.
Do more of what's working, right?
Exactly.
What about long videos versus shorter videos? Do long videos perform better?
I mean, yes. Like, I don't do like... I mean, I do upload once every 2 weeks a short TikTok and like a reel, just because I don't want to let like my Instagram page and my TikTok page die completely. But we're not making like anything with those. So I'm just uploading just because. But there's not a real like market, I don't know, like marketing, like a business opportunity there for me now.
But what about like 10-minute video versus like 20 or 40-minute videos?
Okay. So one thing that I wanted to add about like Instagram and TikTok, because I just don't want people to get this wrong. Like it's maybe like a few months back, I would have said, okay, that's like, don't do that, just do YouTube. I think that is very specific to the niche you're in. For language creators, I just see that the most successful language creators are actually on YouTube. That's a fact. But at the same time, I'm not saying that you cannot create a business with an Instagram page or TikTok. I'm just saying that it's harder statistically, and that's it. Second, so YouTube is moving towards, YouTube wants us to watch videos on TV and just watch YouTube as we now do with TV, even though like a lot of people are not watching television anymore, so standard like cable television anymore. So it's a hard question, because in the last, I would say maybe 6 to 8 months, we've been doing long videos. And when I say long videos, I mean like 20, 25, even 30-minute long videos. And I don't think that in the last 8 months, we have done a video under maybe 15 minutes.
Oh, really?
And videos this long are performing really well. I would say that now YouTube kind of like pushes a little more videos that are maybe over 15 minutes, just because the watch time is going to be inevitably longer. So if you are uploading a 10-minute video, I mean, if you're looking at this as percentage, I love looking at everything in life with percentages. So if you have a 10-minute video, right, and people watch the video just like 20% of the video, that's 2 minutes. So in 2 minutes, you need to do a lot to convince them to stay until the end. If you have a 20-minute video and people watch only 20%, that's now 4 minutes. And in 4 minutes, you can do a lot more convincing, right? So when I'm watching a 10-minute video, I mean, if you think about this, this actually happens the same when we're watching TikToks or Reels. If you're not captured by the first, I don't know, second or half a second, you scroll away, right? That's the same with YouTube. If you know that a video is going to last 10 minutes, you're going to give it a minute. If you don't like it, you're just going to move on to the next one that YouTube is suggesting, or leave the platform. If you're watching a 20-minute video or a 30-minute video, you know that it's long, so you're not going to give it a minute. You're going to give it a little more, right? So I think that statistically, if we make longer video, on one side, a person is more prone to stay for a little longer, so you have more time to convince them. And on the other side, YouTube is pushing it more. And one thing that I realized that it's making all the difference is going straight to the point in the videos. So for example, let's say that I'm making a video about I'm doing a test, an Italian quiz about something, about prepositions, for example. I start the videos always in the same way. So I introduce the topic, like what we're going to talk about in the video briefly, in some sort of like intro, and say, hey, prepositions are hard. No worries, they're not going to be as hard anymore after watching this video, after taking this test. Hello, my name is Stefano, and today we're going to do a quiz about prepositions. And then I start. I start in the first maybe minute, in the first 60 seconds, I go straight into the video because I want to capture the viewer's attention. Then all the lead magnet thing, subscribing to the channel, liking the video, all of that comes later into the video. Also, because when you are doing all of this at 5 minutes, like 5 minutes in the video, 6 minutes in the video, you know that only the real interested person are there. So I think that actually advertising the lead magnet after 5 or 6 minutes in a long bit, like in a longer video, maybe like 20-minute long, is actually better than doing it in the first few seconds.
I would also think that if somebody clicks on a video that they can see is a 20 or a 30-minute video, because you can see that before you click on the video, right? That they are more serious than somebody clicking a 5-minute video, for example.
Oh, I like that.
So even just the fact of it being a longer video could mean that it attracts more people who are more serious because they're willing to make a bigger time commitment. I mean, I'm just making up my own theory here, right? It's a bit like
I've never thought about that, but that makes sense. Yeah,
I like that. Like I don't have the numbers here, but like the average watch time, well, I guess for podcasting, it's average listen time. For podcasts, is really long because they know it's going to last an hour, right? So if they're going to click on it, that means that they are at least open to listen to it for an hour. On top of that, they might be driving or doing something else, so they don't really have the chance to click you away and go check out another channel like people do on TikTok. But yeah, just that was just a thought. Any best practices or any tips that you want to share with our audience on how to increase your view to lead conversion rate? For example, and this one came from you, showing the thing, like printing it out and say, okay, if you sign up, here's what you're going to get, make it tangible. Anything else?
Yeah. Well, I actually have it right here. See? Because I have it ready. I'm in my recording room, so I have like a stack of all the PDFs that I'm showing here. So that, I don't know. I think it worked. I don't have the exact data, of course, because it's the little things, right? So you change a few things, and then every single little thing is adding up. And then, but this is one good practice that I think increases conversion rate, and also make sure that what you are, like the PDF, the lead magnet that you add to a specific video is aligned with the video.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, because, sometimes like offering something completely different doesn't make sense. We got to think it a little bit about, about upselling, right? If you are upselling something, you want to upsell something that makes sense to be upsold. With lead magnets, it's the same thing. Like if I'm making a video about prepositions, it would be very nice to offer, like a complete guide PDF about prepositions, a workbook about prepositions, not something completely different. So be sure that it is aligned, not necessarily the same topic, but aligned. Present it in a way that it makes sense to be presented. So it's aligned. So don't just say, hey, and anyway, if you're interested, download this lead magnet. No, you gotta kind of take, like hand in hand, the viewer from the video to downloading the PDF. So it has to make sense. This process, the process of going in the description, on the pinned comment and clicking, has to make sense to them. So it's also very important in the way you just present the lead magnet in the sense of just bringing them.
Showing them the sign-up process. Maybe share like a quick screen recording where you go to the landing page, fill out the form, and then click on the Get Lead Magnet button.
Yeah, that's also very useful. And another thing that I wanted to mention, slipping my mind up, but
to get more leads or to increase that conversion rate?
No, to increase the conversion rate. Well, well, again, of course, also the bucket thing, just to understand what lead magnets are converting, better on what videos. For sure, that helps. There was another thing, but I forgot. You make cuts to the videos, right?
Well, usually, yeah. Sometimes not.
Sometimes.
Try to keep it natural.
Okay. Well, there was another thing, but I can't remember now.
Okay. No worries.
Anyway, it was about.
Okay, so we've been talking about YouTube and how to optimize for leads rather than optimizing for views. There's something interesting, something else that you do that most of the Langpreneurs are not doing yet, at least, and that's retreats, right? Live language immersion trips. Tell us more about that. How does that work?
Well, it was when I joined the inner circle, I didn't know what I was just like I've been recommended the inner circle, and I was like, okay, let's try it out, and I had the best time. Well, first of all, meeting other people that are doing what I do, which, sometimes I have a wonderful team, love them. But of course, I don't know any other, I didn't know back then any other business owner in this specific niche. And, it completely changed the way I viewed my business. First, because I learned a lot. So if I am here at this point now, it's because I joined the inner circle. So let me just tell you that is no, but I mean, I'm not joking, because when I joined the inner circle, I didn't even have lead magnets. Right now, I'm doing all of this. I'm teaching about lead magnets now.
30 minutes about lead magnets and.
Exactly. So when we met, I didn't have any lead magnet at all. So it just completely changed, everything that I did. And also then you started promoting retreats. So these events that we do in different places in Europe usually, and it's basically a 5-day retreat with other Langpreneurs, and we have some formal, some formal, Jan calls sessions, right? Formal discussions where we present a problem that we have in our business, and we get all the tips from other creators, which is great. I mean, I think it's very valuable also hearing other people's problems, because then I didn't think, but I also have that problem. So it's a very good thing. But then what I like the most about these events is the fact that we just get to spend time with people that have our same mindset, that are going through our same struggles, and are basically doing exactly the same thing that we do. And I feel like it is very empowering, and it makes you feel just less alone in this. And it just, I don't know, it's also about the connection. I made very good friends at this retreat, so people I know that I can count on right now, and so it just helped me grow a lot as a business owner, but also just as a person in general, the way I think about owning a business and everything.
And is that what inspired you to do your own language trips?
Well, I mean, it's certainly helped, because it's it's a lot about the connection, right? And especially for us that we have digital businesses, right? It's hard connecting to other people. So I feel like that we right now, especially after COVID. Right now, people are realizing the fact that they want more connections, because everything moved to Zoom, right? Maybe 5 years ago, you wouldn't have I don't know, I would come to maybe a recording studio, and I would be in person with you, right? But now, I mean, it's so easy to do it online, because we learned it during COVID. But now people want that connection back. And I feel like that what you are providing with the retreats is great, because we have people to talk to in person, which is totally different than doing it over Zoom. And now that I'm doing also language trips myself with my audience, Again, it's pretty much the same. I mean, I always do like videos on YouTube, and I speak all the time in front of a camera, and now I can speak to people in person, to my audience in person, which is nice.
So how does it work then? People fly in from all over the world, they fly to Italy, and then you're there. You take them on a, what is it, a 5-day trip, 1-week trip? What do you guys do?
1 week, yeah. So they fly from everywhere. I mean, usually for people from the US, people from Europe. We also had some people from Latin America, and we hang out for a week. We have lessons that are very fun, interactive, like lots of games, lots of activities, group activities. And then we do everything you would expect to do in Italy, like wine tasting, pasta making classes, trips in little towns with guide, everything in Italian though. That's the fun part, that everything is in Italian. So it's a way, to kind of like get out of the comfort zone. Some people maybe have taken my courses. Actually, most of the people that come to our trips have taken my courses, but maybe they've never spoken Italian in real life. So it's a good way to practice and, put yourself out there and have fun.
Mm. Is it an important part of the business, or like, does it make sense financially, or is it just something that you find fun and you want to do anyway?
I think it does. I mean, right now it's no. I think in 2025 it was 35% of our revenue. So 30.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, this year is going to be pretty much the same,
And
or
profit
maybe like a
margins
little.
are okay?
Yeah. I mean, what I'm calculating just the margins basically. So 30% of the revenue is totally margin, because I just with the trips it's a lot easier to calculate margins. And I mean,
How
it's
stressful, how stressful is it to organize and run those trips?
well, so that's the thing. When I started, it was very stressful. Like my first trip was super stressful. Second was okay. Now I don't even have to think about it anymore because of the processes. So we put in place all the necessary systems, I would say. So we actually work with a tour operator. So we're not doing the actual organizing, like we're not calling the hotels, making reservations and all of that. You could do that. In Italy would be illegal because I'm not like a tour operator or a travel agency. So I couldn't do that unless I had a specific license. But I mean, I think it would be best to delegate that. Because of course it's not my job. Like I wouldn't know how to do that. I mean, now I'm learning a little bit, but it's not my job, right? My job is marketing, handling the money, and show up on the trip, right? Yeah. So we're working with a tour operator. We have a wonderful relationship with them. We even have like an exclusivity contract. So it's something very serious that we have going on with them. And so they do, all the planning. But now we have created this, I would say, like packages. Right? Yeah. So we have one in Tuscany, one in Emilia-Romagna, one in Puglia, one in Sicily, and we just reuse them. We're going to reuse them in 2026 and also in 2027. So right now, organizing the trips itself is super easy because we have already this like super fixed package. Yeah. Then the marketing, we reuse the emails. And then one thing that is actually very, very important is all the customer service part, which is heavy. So we have put in place a system for customer service because, of course, we're talking about trips that are quite expensive. So people need to be taken care of. People might have a lot of questions, might have problems with billing and everything. So I would say that right now, we have on our team, I have a person that works both for the customer service of Teacher Stefano and also for trip side of the business. I think she spends like 60% on Teacher Stefano and 40% on the trip business, even though we just do 5 trips a year. And of course, Teacher Stefano is like open all the time. Just to that's the most, I would say, like time consuming part. But other than that, it makes sense.
How much do you charge for those trips? Just to give our listener an idea.
Yeah, so it's we offer you can choose to be in a double room with another participant of the trip or with a partner, of course, and also a single room. In a double room, It's ranging between 2,500 and 2,800, and single room it's around like 3,600 to 4,000.
Yeah. And then they do not only get a unforgettable trip to Italy and the Italian lessons and the experiences, but they also get to hang out with the idol teacher Stefano.
Exactly, that's the point. So if you remove me from the equation, what's going to happen? That's a very good question that I ask myself.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll try testing that someday.
Yeah, I will.
Anything else that you've learned? I mean, these are the main topics that I wanted to talk about today. YouTube, attracting more leads. These language trips are quite unique. I mean, we have a few people in our community doing similar things, like Brenda from Hola Spanish is doing something similar. In Latin America. Anything else that you've learned?
Just if the audience wants to look at, sorry for interrupting you. Yeah. If the audience wants to get an idea of what we do with the trips, they can check out the website linguatravel.com.
All right.
And just see the website. Yeah.
Gonna check that out. Where you're at in the the whole AI discussion, because we talk about like in the previous episode with Oli, I talked about courses and the future of selling courses, and it's important to start thinking about building an ecosystem, right? Even with AI, there will still be people who buy courses because of you. They like to learn the way how you do certain things. But on the other hand, information is going to be, it's kind of obsolete, right? You can go to GPT. Of course, there is value in organizing content and presenting them in a certain way, offering them in the form of a course. But yeah, we want to make sure that our businesses are future proof, right? So we think about how can we be future proof? And the answer is often by, not just offering courses, but offering more like an ecosystem, right? People can study online, but they can also fly to Italy and hang out with you. Is that something you're thinking about, or you're not worried about it yet?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm worried, but it's definitely something that I'm thinking about. And again, AI is going to become more powerful over the years, for sure. And I was talking to you, Jan, about the conference I was at in the United States last week, and one talk that I listened to was about the course businesses and about courses that will be dead at some point in the future because of AI. And the guy said, well, maybe the courses. If you just offer courses, that's something to worry about. But if you add some other element, such as AI, community, or coaching, and this is actually something we talked about a lot also in Lisbon, then you don't have much to worry about. And I completely agree with that. I mean, we do this with the trips now, but of course, it's more of a very niche product that we offer. Yeah. But the community aspect or the coaching aspect on top of the courses, I think is what going to make our businesses future-proof. Yeah. And also adding some... If AI is going to steal our job, let's just basically ask AI to come on board. And so, for example, what you do with,
Teacher AI.
Teacher AI, and is fantastic. And a lot of students, my students are using Teacher AI, because they cannot get lessons with me, right? We don't offer any coaching yet. So just the ability of learning something in the course and then practicing that specific thing, that specific topic with AI is just great. Of course, it's not replacing any human because it's different, but it's more accessible, it's faster, you can do it anytime. So, I think the key word here is just diversification and kind of understand, okay, courses are going to be a thing. They're not going to... Also because the course is, I'm teaching the course and I'm a real person. People want that, okay? Yeah. But it's not enough. It's not going to be enough in the future, I think. Yeah. So we need to add something else. And that something else is AI, coaching, and community.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess people want certain outcomes, right? Like they want to learn Italian because they want to identify as an Italian speaker. They want to connect to other people who are doing that. They want to know what's going on in Italy. They want to have experiences in Italy. Yes, they also want to learn Italian. They want more speaking practice. So yeah, how can you deliver that? And I guess the answer is by what you just said, like a community, right? That's how you introduce them to other people who are aiming to get the same identity, to learn the same thing. Offer speaking practice, AI driven in the worst case if you can't do it yourself. It's definitely it's an interesting discussion, and I feel that at least now 2026
and offering those options is actually great because, like, if you think about it, like I sell a course, for example, I sell a $200 course. And then on top of that, in the future, I might say, okay, and if you pay 20 euros monthly, you get access to Teacher AI, for example. Okay, I don't know, this is just a number out there. Or you can pay 50 euros, 60 euros per hour and get an actual, high professional tutor. Right? And then you get to choose depending on the money you have. But at least I'm offering the possibility to different people in my audience.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important to, think about that. And courses alone are not going to be enough at some point. Yeah, I do believe that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess what that means is as long as there are people who want to learn something and they like what you're doing, you have to trust. There's always something that you can sell. Right? No matter if it's group lessons or high ticket one-on-one coaches or AI practice with your clone or a community, like it's always something to buy. But I guess from the business perspective, it would also mean that creator businesses are going to be more sophisticated operationally. Like now you can just put a course on Teachable and just sell it. Whereas if you really want to offer all these things that you just mentioned, you might have to start organizing your own trips which is a bit more complex, as you just mentioned. You'd have to, like, if you want to offer one-on-one coaching, you might have to hire coaches, or if you want to offer teaching, like group lessons, hire teachers. It's interesting because we have people in our group who are doing those things, and it's not something new. But I guess now with AI, those are all things that langpreneurs start thinking about more and more. Maybe one day I should offer.
But I'm going to ask you a question, okay? Yeah. We're just going to reverse the role.
We're going to reverse,
Do you believe in the idea of a passive income?
I mean, I've never had any passive income. I think even, what's the definition of passive income, right? Like,
exactly.
You can make money while you sleep.
You said, like, putting the course out there on Teachable and then you just sell it. I mean, yes, but in order to do that, because that's what I'm doing right now, but I'm doing all the YouTube things.
And it's taking me so long. For sure.
So that's the thing. Yes, course businesses might become a little bit more sophisticated, but it depends on how much you want to scale it. And something that I doubt it. That if you do maybe I'm doing a course now, I'm launching a course now, I'm selling it. I highly doubt it that if I don't change anything to my business, I'm still gonna make money out of that course in 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah, probably. I
can, sure, but I need to add something else. It's not gonna be enough anymore.
Yeah.
So it's inevitable, I guess. It's not like we cannot stop at courses. Like any business stopped and it's selling now things that maybe started selling 20 years ago. So they're going to become more complicated, sure, but isn't that just, like a natural evolution of scaling a business? I don't know.
Yeah, and I guess in a worst case scenario where people still want to learn languages, but they just don't want to buy any of your stuff because they can get it anywhere else, I guess then there are always going to be companies offering the right solution to them, and then maybe we should just all take sponsorship fees and affiliate commission from those companies. What I'm trying to say is that as long as you have the audience and the trust and you control the distribution, there's always something to sell, right? Even if it's not your own stuff, okay, then in the worst case, you take an affiliate commission or you take on sponsorship fees.
And the technology also is going to evolve. right?
Yeah.
So now we have AI for languages, and we didn't have this 1 year ago. So who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah. All right, Stefano. Thanks for
Thank
sharing
you.
all your insights with our listeners, and talk to you soon. All right, it was my interview with Stefano. If you are building in the language space, doesn't matter if you are YouTuber first, if you have an audience first business, or if you're building software, if you are product first. Here on this podcast, we talk to builders in the language space, to the people who are building the future of language learning. And soon we will have some of the people behind big language apps as well. So if that's you, then make sure to subscribe to this podcast, because lots of more good stuff is coming. See you in the next episode.